Nostalgia is awesome. What is nostalgia, you may be asking? Nostalgia is a sentimental longing or wistful affection for the past, typically for a period or place with happy personal associations. So why am I talking about nostalgia? Because nostalgia can make you feel happy in times where you may not be in your best state of mind. It can make you remember those great times you had with friends back in the day, and ultimately just give you some major goosebumps as you play those games you enjoyed as a kid. Now, everyone's nostalgia is different because it all depends on what you played as a kid and what you did as a kid. For me, my nostalgia hits hard when I think of the Wii and the Xbox 360. Both of these things I spent hours upon days upon weeks just playing all the games it offered and just having a blast playing them. I would come home after school and spend hours just playing Mario Kart, trying to unlock those new characters and just trying to get a better time on those racetracks, and it may only be a second faster, but for me it was so awesome to improve on those. I remember playing Super Mario Bros. And just the soundtrack and just the happy feel of the game and just defeating every of the bosses was just like such an accomplishment. You felt like you come so far to get there. Then about a year after we got our Wii, we also got our Xbox 360, and man, was the Xbox 360 just such a great place for gaming. You had great exclusives like the Halo games, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, Halo Reach. Oh my god, words can't even describe how fun those games were back to me in the day. I remember the first time I did Halo 3 campaign, and I did it on Recruit because back in the day I didn't want to struggle in a game. I just wanted to get it done and I just wanted to just have fun. So I was a noob. I played Recruit, and not playing Halo 1 or 2 before Halo 3, I didn't know what was going on. I was just going for the ride, and it was so much fun not even knowing what was going on. I just had a blast just playing the game, and just I don't know. It was awesome. And then after Halo, I got huge into the indie market, and the Xbox 360 had such a great amount of indie games to play. A ton of creators putting their ideas out, and it was just awesome to see what was on the indie market every day. Castle Miner Z, Total Miner Forge, Dollar Zombie Game, Murder Miners. Those are just a few games I loved playing back in the day, and it kind of bums me out what's going on nowadays and seeing that these games haven't been updated recently and very few players still play them. Then we get to the two games that just defined my childhood and just really was the turning point for video games for me. Before indie games, I really didn't play a lot of Xbox Live or online gaming. The PS2, I didn't have the connection to back to play online, and the Wii, I mean, did it even have an online? It was pretty bad if it did. But online gaming changed for me when one game was released, and that game is Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 was awesome. It had zombies, multiplayer, and campaign, and all three of these game modes were just amazing. You would go into a multiplayer lobby for search and destroy, and you would just have people roasting each other. You'd have people talking, communicating. You would just meet new people, and it was awesome. These experiences were just amazing. You had the people who you'd always roast, and they'd threaten to boot you offline, and everyone would just start laughing at this guy and just saying, "What a baby, what are you doing?" And it was just...
He's retarded as hell. He's trying to defuse that bomb.
It was awesome. I don't know what to say. It was amazing.
Yeah, I got
Quick revive and stamina up.
those look refreshing. Care to tell us what you're doing here? Sir?
Then we get to Black Ops 2 Origins, where, oh my god, I don't even want to admit to how many hours I put into Origins. I probably played Origins 1,000 times by now. Like, Origins was my favorite map in Call of Duty Zombies. But better yet, when I played Origins in public match, I met most of the people I still play with today, 6 years later, and I think that's what Xbox Live is all about, is meeting people and just having those friendships for years and years. I remember playing 2 years ago on BO2, and it just became backwards compatible on Xbox One, and the same people I met in Origin 6 years ago, we'd all go into BO2 Search and Destroy, and we would just roast the other team, and then when round switched, it would just be a big insult fest, and it was awesome because we were all just reliving the nostalgia we had 6 years ago. And then someone found a way that you can get a mod menu for watching a theater clip, so now the last 1,000 people in the game are all hackers who just mod the game to oblivion and ruin the game. So thanks person for adding that to the game.
No, my game crashed.
Really, nigga?
But the last piece of nostalgia I want to talk about today is something that everyone probably has heard of before. If you haven't, you're living under a rock, to be honest, because this game has been in the media and is just, I think it is the #1 selling game in the world. So if you guys don't know, Minecraft was huge in my childhood. YouTubers posting videos on trolling was awesome.
Can you ban your world? Because when I was playing the computer version, people burned out my house.
Oh, really? Someone burned down your house?
People showing off their creations, making these giant replicas of like their city or movie cities, and it was just incredible to see these people come out and show their creations. I remember first playing the game back in 2013, and I didn't know what I was doing. I played survival first, and I was like, what's this? I gotta get food to survive. I have to craft weapons. I have to mine ores. What is this? This is way different than Halo and Call of Duty. But the more I played it, the more creative I got, the more stuff I would earn in survival, and soon I just had everything. I felt like I had all the power in the world, like I couldn't be stopped by anything. But slowly the game just got stale and boring. They would update it eventually, but it felt like there was only an update every like 4 months. And when they updated the game, there was a lot of content, but for those 4-month spans where you had everything, you just didn't know what to do. But going back nowadays and playing Minecraft is so awesome because there is a lot of stuff they added. Servers are huge, and especially them being a console now is great. The creations, the updates they've added since Microsoft has acquired Minecraft, there's just so much to do in the game now. But saying all this, it goes back to that point of nostalgia and what is nostalgic to me. Yeah, nowadays going on those games, on 360 especially, there's such a small amount of players on those games, whether it was because the game just died with lack of content, or like Black Ops 2 where everyone mods the game and claims the game's old so it's okay. But every time I do hop on these games, I get goosebumps, and it just reminds me of how great these games were back in the day. Because these games, I spent hours playing these games, days playing these games, and I just had the greatest time playing them. It was in a time where games didn't try to suck all the money out of you in microtransactions, where the game was just fun, where you wouldn't get banned for saying one bad thing. You would just talk, and if people roasted you, you would just be like, okay, it's okay. I'm not gonna cry about this, even though, you know, it might hurt sometimes. I think games nowadays lack this whole idea of communication between the players. Most games don't have forced game chat. You remember back in Modern Warfare 2, where every game mode had forced game chat? Now, no games have forced game chat. So the only reason you're going to talk to somebody is if you do a looking for group posts, or you invite these people to a party. And this honestly sucks for new players who are trying to get into gaming, because it's harder for these people to meet people to talk to. I still talk to the people I met 6 years ago on Origins, and we have a blast, but these new players don't have a way to meet anybody unless they just invite them to a party. I'm curious to see what is going to be nostalgic to these new players who play these mostly Battle Royale games, because what was nostalgic to me was indie games, zombie games, Call of Duty. And what a lot of developers are now doing with these old games, which is genius, is they're remastering them. We've seen collections of remastered games. We recently just saw Resident Evil 2 being remastered, and it is such a fun game, and there's a lot of people who review it with a perfect 10 out of 10. So it's nice to see that these developers are bringing these old games back and polishing them off for new players to experience. I think it would also be nice for Xbox to maybe include an indie market on the Xbox One. They've done a little bit with this Creation Club thing, but it doesn't feel like the Xbox 360 indie market, because nothing was better than getting a $5 Xbox gift card and going and buying like 5 indie games and spending hours playing each one. We've also seen things like the NES and the Super NES being remastered in these little mini forms of the console, which really is awesome for older players to get that nostalgic vibe that they did back in the 80s. But I don't know, something about nostalgia just is awesome because it really lets you relive those moments you did as a child, and it really gives you that sense of happiness knowing that these games still are there for you to play, and you feel those memories as you play the game. I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below, what was nostalgic to you when you were a child? What are some of the games that when you play, you get those goosebumps and you get those fond memories you did as a child? But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and turn those bell notifications on, and all that YouTube stuff. Let me know what you guys want me to see in the next video. Do you want funny moments, another commentary? And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace.